Greetings from the asphalt jungle of the 80s, a time when the streets were alive with the roar of engines and the flash of chrome. The 1980s big hair, shoulder pads, a decade of bold fashion statements and even bolder automotive designs. And cars that were just as outrageous. Each vehicle was a masterpiece of creativity and excess. It was a decade where greed was good and more was always more. Luxury and opulence were the names of the game, especially when it came to cars. Car shows were spectacles of innovation and extravagance. The 80s brought us some of the most iconic and unforgettable machines ever to grace the asphalt. These weren't just cars, they were statements. Statements of power, wealth, and style. Symbols of an era defined by excess and ambition. They were parked in front of mansions and driven by the elite. Turbochargers were the new toys. They added a thrilling boost to the driving experience. Digital dashboards were all the rage. They brought a futuristic feel to the driver's seat, and pop-up headlights, don't even get me started. They were the epitome of cool. So buckle up, petrol heads. We're going on a trip back in time, a journey through the golden age of automotive design, back to the decade that gave us some of the most iconic cars ever made, cars that still turn heads today. Get ready for a heavy dose of nostalgia, relive the glory days of the 80s, and maybe a speeding ticket or two, because in the 80s, speed was everything. Let's kick things off with a car that needs no introduction. A car that has captured the hearts and minds of enthusiasts and dreamers alike. A car that became a legend not just for its looks, but for its ability to travel through time, at least in our imaginations. I'm talking, of course, about the DeLorean DMC-12, a vehicle that has transcended its original purpose. This stainless steel marvel with its gull-wing doors and futuristic design was like nothing else on the road. It was a vision of what the future could be. It was the brainchild of John DeLorean, an automotive maverick who dared to dream big and challenge the status quo. Sadly, the company went bankrupt in 1982, a victim of financial troubles and market pressures. But the DeLorean story didn't end there. Enthusiasts and collectors have kept the dream alive. Thanks to a little film called Back to the Future, the car achieved immortality, becoming a cultural icon. Suddenly, everyone wanted a piece of the action. The DeLorean became a symbol of nostalgia and innovation. Even today, the DeLorean remains an icon, a testament to bold design and daring ambition. A symbol of 80s cool and the boundless possibilities of imagination, the DeLorean continues to inspire. From time travel, we move to a car that was all about speed, style, and sheer presence on the road. A car that epitomized the 80s love affair with excess and flamboyance. A car that graced countless bedroom walls on posters symbolizing dreams and aspirations. I'm talking about the iconic Ferrari Testarossa. This Italian stallion with its wide stance, straight side intakes and roaring flat 12 engine was a sight to behold and a sound to remember. It was the car every kid dreamed of owning, the ultimate symbol of success and luxury. The car that screamed, "I've made it." To everyone who saw it, the Testarossa was more than just a car. It was a status symbol, a rolling piece of art. It was featured in countless movies, TV shows, and music videos, cementing its place in pop culture history and the hearts of car enthusiasts. Even today, the Testarossa turns heads wherever it goes, a timeless classic that never fails to impress. It's a reminder of an era when cars were bold, brash, and unapologetically cool, capturing the spirit of a generation. Section 4, the Lamborghini Countach, a wedge on wheels. And finally, no list of iconic 80s cars would be complete without mentioning the Lamborghini Countach. This was a car that looked like it had driven straight out of a science fiction comic. With its wedge-shaped design, scissor doors, and outrageous engine, the Countach was in a league of its own. It was the ultimate poster car for a generation. Getting in and out of a Countach was an experience in itself. The visibility was terrible. The engine was unbelievably loud. It was basically a mobile hazard, but who cared? It was a Lamborghini Countach. It was a statement, a rolling testament to the fact that sometimes impracticality can be absolutely perfect. Section 5, the cars of our youth. These cars and many others like them weren't just modes of transportation. They were cultural touchstones. They represented our dreams, our aspirations, and our desire for something more. They were the cars we drew in our notebooks at school, the cars we raced in video games, the cars we daydreamed about owning when we finally got our driver's licenses. For many of us, these cars evoke a sense of nostalgia, a time when life was simpler, music was louder, and cars were just plain cooler. Section 6, still cruising today. The 1980s may be long gone, but the legacy of these iconic cars lives on. They're still out there, these rolling pieces of automotive history, turning heads and sparking conversations wherever they go. So the next time you see a DeLorean, a Testarossa, or a Countach cruising down the street, take a moment to appreciate them. These cars are more than just machines. They're reminders of a time when cars were about more than just getting from point A to point B. They were about making a statement about living life in the fast lane and about looking damn good while doing it, and that, my friends, is a timeless pursuit.